is called Where China Meets India, Burma, and the New Crossroads of Asia. It's my third book, actually, and this one looks both at the current situation in Burma, but also its relationship with India and China. It's partly a travelogue. It's based on my travels in Burma, in southwest China, and in northeast India over the past few years, but it's also partly my exploration in a way, or my investigation of how this basic relationship between these countries and how the geography of this whole region is changing very quickly in this time. There's a new government in Burma that's been there since April of this year. There's a new president, who's a former general, who seems to have, over the past few months, moved much more quickly in a reformist direction than almost anyone had anticipated. And over the last several weeks, he has moved even more quickly in terms of new economic measures designed to reduce poverty, to improve the economy, but also in terms of reaching out against the democracy movement and the political opposition. He met a few days ago for the very first time with Burmese opposition leader Aung San Suu Kyi. And I think the question really that's there is whether or not these reforms have momentum, whether or not there are hardliners or other interests that may try to roll them back or to push them back, or whether we will move even more quickly towards a much more open political system. I think because it has come to such a point now with this meeting between the President and Aung San Suu Kyi, I think the next few weeks alone will be extremely important in determining in what direction things go. I think if things do move in a more open direction, if it turns out that Parliament is able to function as a real Parliament, if there is going to be a more competitive, if not more democratic system in place, or at least some initial moves in that direction, the expertise and the knowledge that IDEA has managed to pull together over more than a decade of work, lessons learned from elsewhere, best practices accumulated, will be incredibly important to try to impart in some way inside Burma. I think that working with local NGOs, local think tanks, and perhaps even with local political parties and members of parliament can be something that not only should be done, but may be possible even just over the coming months. There's almost every area that's important. I would say that because Parliament is a very new thing and could either wind up being a rubber stamp, one-party thing, or could actually be a space for more open debate and proper democratic accountability, because we have no idea exactly in which direction it will move. I think working with members of Parliament who really do want democratic change in terms of understanding better how parliaments should work, how they work in other countries, issues of political party financing are very important in Burma right now. But then I think in other areas as well, I think IDEA has done a lot of work looking at the development of democratic institutions in post-conflict situations, and that will be very applicable to Burma as well. I think almost across the board, in almost every area, every